Honestly, it's starting to already feel like Paul might be going towards another second place. What's up, everybody? Another episode of House of Villains Season 3 is in the books, and I figured I'd try and talk about it. I believe it was episode 4 of the season. And how I feel overall with this show is that it's almost good. That's kind of how I feel. Like the entertainment part of the show does entertain me, but it tries to be a competition reality show. And the actual gameplay and that kind of stuff really does fall flat for me. Like I almost feel like if they would make this more of like the Surreal Life, that old show where you just put a bunch of celebrities together. I can't remember how that show worked, to be honest. I don't know if that had eliminations or not. But if they just put a bunch of crazy celebrities in a house and let them have drama, I might actually like it more, even though the drama would probably be contrived. But it would keep everyone together. But instead, we're stuck with the likes of Johnny and Christine still. And like I said in my last video, these two are not giving good television. I don't understand how Christine was even cast in the first place. Never seen her show. And certainly after watching her on this show, I would like to never watch her again. Like, she can't even form sentences together. Like, not even. She clearly don't understand the game unless she's just playing really, really dumb, but I don't think it's that she's playing really, really dumb. I think she is just almost coming off as incoherent, like she's on something while in the house. I don't know what that substance she is on with, but like she has a hard time just having general conversations with people, but it becomes especially bad when people are trying to talk game with her. And I'm pretty over it. She's definitely the hard part of this season because she doesn't make any damn sense, nor is she entertaining, but we're stuck with her another week. Let's get into this episode. New York and Plain Jane were more upset with Paul, who was the right hand man of Johnny, than Johnny himself for this decision because Paul could have pushed harder for one of the nominations. And honestly, it's starting to already feel like Paul might be going towards another second place in this season, which I guess would just complete his story for him because he got second place twice on Big Brother because he does not know how to manage a jury. And I believe on this show, I didn't finish last season, but if I remember season 1 correctly, there is a jury that votes in the end, and it is everyone else in the cast. And right now, coming off of this episode, Paul isn't looking good to the nominees. So like he clearly could be on his way back to coming just short of winning a game. And I'm a little lost on his gameplay right now. In the first few episodes, I was liking that he was getting chaotic, but now I feel like he is trying to reel that back in so that he can stay good with this alliance, but he knows he doesn't really have a number 1 in that alliance. So like not fighting for Tom with Johnny because Paul really wanted Tom to be the one that was nominated, but he didn't fight for it hard enough, and Tom did not end up nominated. And so now Tom already doesn't feel good about Paul in the game. So like I just feel like Paul did not have a good week of gameplay despite potentially having more power. Tom is like the person that could save the gameplay this season, which is crazy to say because I don't know if he knows that, and I don't know exactly what Tom knows on a gameplay level. After watching him on the Traders, he was wrong all the time, but this season he is not enjoying playing with this alliance. And Tom was the person more upset with Johnny because Johnny is acting like he did Tom a favor by not nominating him, when really, as Tom put it, Johnny was just honoring the alliance that he was supposed to be in the first place. I feel like Tom in this episode came across as someone who was already ready to make a move against Paul and Johnny, but Tyson is trying to get Tom to wait until they can do it together. But as the episode went along more and more, Johnny just continued to get on Tom's nerves. So, what I feel about Tom this season is it is actually a really good edit into why playing with a big alliance on paper, of course, it makes sense. You have numbers, and you need numbers in a game where there is voting. I get that. But when you're in an alliance with people that you don't trust, and you don't know if you can trust, and you feel like you have to vote with them, it really does stifle your game. And Tom is a perfect example of how that happens and how that starts to play out, because the alliance becomes shaky really early when you feel like people in that alliance have egos, which Johnny certainly does. It is a shaky alliance, so I guess that's a good thing. So shaky that Drita already realizes that there are sides in the house. And I feel like of all the non-gamers in this season, she definitely seems to be the one most in tune with the game. So good for her. In fact, I feel like Drita made this episode for me in general because, New York pissed her off. And I feel like New York did it on purpose to try and make good TV. And so we got a lot of Drita cussing people out. And New York, I think, did it maybe also because she felt like Drita was maybe pledging loyalty to Kate, who was a nominee with her. But, for the rest of the episode, there was tension between Drita and New York. And I think that's good for an entertaining aspect. But once again, I don't think that's good for the gameplay of this season because they kind of need each other if Drita is realizing there's another side of the house. Unfortunately, that means you have to work with all the people that are not in that alliance and are not quite realizing it yet. And one of those people is New York, who, no matter how many times she plays this game, will probably never understand the actual strategies within the game. Because going off on people when you are one of the nominees could mean that you're going to go home. Luckily for her, that's not what I meant this week. Also, playing like New York, it can actually mean that people want to drag you further because they don't see you as a threat, which is what ended up happening. But yeah, Johnny wanted Kate gone this week. His big ego as supervillain really thought he was calling the shots. They've been having that argument over JoJo Siwa that I really don't understand why Johnny was in his panties about it, because it didn't really make sense, and I feel like Kate feels the same way. So I feel like Kate has a reason to be upset with Johnny, but then Johnny's just upset because Kate is upset with him. It was still just more of the same from Johnny this week. My complaint in my last video of the season was that Johnny plays the same exact way every time he is on a competition reality show. Let's have a big alliance. Let me think I'm running the shots. Everyone sees he has a big ego. They eventually dethrone him. It's rinse and repeat. And I really hope to never see Johnny on another competition show after this season. Ashley is enjoying Johnny being on this season, though, because she was in her MTV bag trying to bed Johnny this week, getting topless in the pool when Plain Jane had her fake breasts out. Ashley decided to actually put her also fake breasts out, but I mean, Plain Jane was wearing breasts. Hers are just fake boobs. But yeah, she got in the pool topless, and it made her and Johnny have this night together. The show made it seem like they did have sex. I don't know if that's completely true or if that was the edit, but they acted like it, and Paul did not want to be in that room with them because he shares a room with them. And Paul, who comes from Big Brother, I am just wondering when he sees that showmans continue to develop, when will Paul want to make the move? The only good thing about the Alliance edit so far this season is that Paul likes causing chaos, and is that Tom hates this alliance because he feels like he can't trust them, which is true. I will give the show credit for the edit of this big 5-person alliance, and I call it a big alliance because it's 5 people out of 11 people that started, so it is a big alliance on a small cast for sure. But I like that the edit for this big alliance is like a crash course on why big alliances could suck for your game because they stifle your game. And Tom continues to find that out. Anyway, the competition to save themselves, like this show's veto competition, was they had to, New York, Kate, Plain Jane had to fill the other people's faces and try and guess who was who. Kate and New York ended up tying, but Kate did it faster, so Kate was saved by a 12-second time limit, and she will live to fight another day. I hope this lights a fire under Kate's ass because I have felt like she was just going through the motions in these first few episodes. Out of the 3 nominees, like I said last time, I was kind of hoping Kate would be the one voted out because as much as I did enjoy her on The Traitors, I need her to start doing more on a game level in this game. And it seems like her saving herself and maybe realizing like she was a target makes her want to play harder, but we'll see about that. Plain Jane was trying really, really hard to stay in the game. And I appreciate him really going to everyone and trying to gather votes. It was very Big Brother-esque. But unfortunately for him, people in the alliance, especially Johnny, Paul, Ashley, see him as the bigger threat and think he should be the one voted out. Now, Tom and Tyson were acting like they didn't have to go with the big alliance, and I still think Tom doesn't want to go with the big alliance, but he's working with Tyson, and Tyson seems a little afraid to pull that trigger on the big alliance so far. Tyson has a better social game than Johnny and Ashley for sure, so I can see why Tyson is biding his time. But it also seemed like Tyson was close with Plain Jane. And if Tyson is hosting the after show podcast for this show, it makes me think he doesn't win. So this could have been a mistake on his end. But maybe he is the winner and the host. Who knows? New York, despite upsetting people, stays in the game. And her final speech was good to make Plain Jane look like a bigger threat than her. So props to New York for that at least. But she will be here to fight another day. Next week looks like people are realizing that there is an alliance, and more so that Ashley, Paul, and Johnny are close. And so there's going to be some sabotaging in the next challenge to make sure one of those 3 are not the supervillain. So I like to see that. Maybe the game can evolve going forward. Maybe some of these strays that are there for being good at causing drama can actually be good at figuring out the game too. Kind of hoping so. So this episode was entertaining, but the actual game aspect of it has been annoying me so far this season, although it's not that hard to annoy me on these competition reality shows.